I'm Cammie McCormick at the Pentagon. The military is sending an advance team to Raleigh, North Carolina to coordinate. More than 700 military personnel have been designated to provide hurricane support. The Navy has sent Virginia-based ships out to sea, and aircraft have been relocated.
The latest hurricane to hit Hawaii, Olivia, is expected to make landfall this morning with torrential rain, high winds, and potential flooding. Hawaii Governor David Inge explains what they want to do to protect the state from the hurricane.
The storm is different. We have been preparing for all of the impacts: wind, rain and flooding, storm, surf, and surge in anticipation. And we do have plans on how we would respond to every situation.
White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders says President and Mrs. Trump will attend a ceremony today at Shanksville, Pennsylvania.
The focus will be on remembering that horrific day and remembering the lives that were lost, and certainly honoring the individuals who were not only lost that day but also put their lives on the line to help in that process.
Vice President Pence will be at the Pentagon, and thousands are expected in New York City at the World Trade Center. Mike Rayleigh, MCN News.
Today's hits and yesterday's memories, WCAB Rutherfordton.
From ABC News, I'm Jim Ryan in Wilmington, North Carolina. The surf is already picking up at Wrightsville Beach, days ahead of the arrival of Hurricane Florence, a Category 4 terror whose eye is 975 miles from the coast and headed in this direction. The first round of evacuations came yesterday for Hatteras Island. At this hour, the second wave takes effect. That includes people like Shannon Buchanan, who's vacationing in Nags Head.
We were planning on leaving Thursday anyway, so we might just stick it out until we planned on leaving.
The winds of Florence will pose a major threat to people and property near the coast, but ABC meteorologist Rob Marciano says flooding will be a problem long after landfall.
Storm surge, damaging flooding. We could see over 20 inches of rainfall as far inland as West Virginia. As we've seen in the past, that's when we can possibly see the catastrophic flood event.
All the major airlines are waiving change fees for customers who want to leave here early or who've decided they don't want to come at all until after Florence passes. I'm Jim Ryan, ABC News, Wilmington, North Carolina. Now with more news, here's Sherry Preston.
Once again, we mark 9/11.
Gordon M. Amos Jr.
The solemn roll call of those killed at the World Trade Center will again echo through lower Manhattan. As in every year since the attacks, there are new names to remember.
To this day, we're still losing officers each and every year from the effects of 9/11. Including friends of yours? Chief Steve Bonanno.
NYPD Chief of Department Terrence Monahan said his friend Chief Bonanno died from blood cancer he contracted after inhaling toxins at the World Trade Center site.
ABC's Jan Katursky at the site. President Trump this morning will be at the United 93 Memorial in Pennsylvania. President's son, Donald Trump Jr., says his father's circle of trust is smaller after that anonymous op-ed in the New York Times.
That's pretty disgusting. That's pretty sad. Perhaps it's a disgruntled person who's been thrown out because they didn't deliver what they were supposed to do.
The police officer in Dallas accused of killing a neighbor says the victim ignored her commands, and that's when she opened fire. That's from the arrest affidavit. You're listening to ABC News.
It's time to join the millions of people using Zoom video conferencing. Turn any size conference room, huddle room, or executive office into a Zoom room with flawless HD video, crystal clear audio, and instant wireless sharing. It'll even work with your existing hardware. Start your meetings with a single touch or use Zoom's new voice command feature. Hey Zoom, start meeting. Huddle happy. Visit Zoom.us to set up your free Zoom room trial today. That's Zoom.us. Zoom video conferencing.
Oil and gas investments involve a high degree of risk and are suitable only for qualified SEC-accredited investors. If you're an SEC-defined accredited investor getting ready to do your taxes and wish you had more deductions, you can take action now and start planning for 2018 with a 100% IRS-approved deduction. Invest with Encore Energy. If you're a high-net-worth SEC-defined accredited investor who's interested in participating directly with a proven operator and are qualified to make an investment of at least $250,000, then please call Encore Energy. 800-803-8511. 800-803-8511.
Ahead of next week's summit between the leaders of North and South Korea, the South Korean president is talking about nuclear weapons.
Addressing the current stalemate, South Korean President Moon Jae-in says what's required is a grand concept and bold resolve to get rid of 70 years of distrust. He'll be meeting with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un next week in Pyongyang. U.S. Special Envoy Stephen Biden sees things this way.
I heard that there's a Korean proverb that the beginning is half done.
Okay.
And this is the beginning. So what we need to do is finish the job.
Tom Rivers, ABC News at the Foreign Desk.
The New Jersey couple who set up a GoFundMe account for a homeless man who helped them out, then allegedly spent most of the money on themselves, could be indicted soon. That's what their lawyer now says. And there is a new look today at which college majors really pay.
Yep, you probably should have majored in something else.
STEM dominates the top 15 spots, number 1 being actual science. The one exception is number 14 is public policy.
Bankrate's Adrian Garcia on the website's list of the most and least valuable college degrees. Grads make the most in these fields, and the unemployment rate is pretty low.
If you look at number 1, it's 2.3%. Zoology is number 2. It's even lower at 1.4%.
At the bottom of the list, clinical psychology, speech, and many of the fine arts fields. Daria Albinger, ABC News.
This is ABC News.
Can you remember the last time you had a great night's sleep? How you felt the next morning? More energized, more alive. Feel the difference of deeper sleep daily with the new Tomorrow mattress. Designed by the world's leading sleep experts at Serta Simmons Bedding and delivered right to your door. Try the Tomorrow mattress for 365 nights risk-free at tomorrowsleep.com. Use promo code AWAKE4 for $125 off. tomorrowsleep.com.
I'm Sherry.
Deer season has arrived, and Oakland Feed and Seed has what you need for the season. Buck jam and buck forage oats, 6-way deer forage mix, and 5-way deer forage mix. Check on the winter peas, molasses, 1 gallon and 2.5 gallon. Oakland Feed and Seed carries chicory, deer greens, dried molasses, beet juice, and more. If you're a deer hunter or want to be, go see Oakland Feed and Seed. Also, grass season is coming soon, and you can be ready with 17-17-17 fertilizer and 10-10-10 fertilizer, K31 fescue, and 5-star turf fescue. Make Oakland Feed and Seed your first stop because they have it all. Oakland Road, Spindale.
We'll have some low clouds and fog possible in spots early today. Otherwise, mostly cloudy to partly sunny with some scattered showers and thunderstorms, especially in the afternoon. Highs today will reach about 80 to 86. Tonight, we'll have a small chance of a shower or storm. Otherwise, partly cloudy with lows in the upper 60s to low 70s. We'll have clouds and sun mixed around the area Wednesday. A few isolated to widely scattered thunder showers. Highs tomorrow about 82 to 88. I'm meteorologist Mike Moss in the Weather Center.
Well, I think that slight chance of a storm yesterday afternoon turned into a pretty major storm around the county. I don't know if it's widespread or not, but it sure did hit pretty hard right here and other points. A lot of heavy rain, thunder, lightning last night. Don't know how much rain we got. We'll try to check with our reporters as we get to the phones here in a few minutes to find out in their neighborhood how much rain they received. Right now it is 68 degrees and cloudy. We're anticipating a 50-50 chance of more rain today, this afternoon, and tomorrow right here in the foothills. 68 degrees currently. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Wake Up Call Hour number 2. Glad to have you on board with us this morning. You're at 100.9 FM and 590 AM WCAB. Now I have these death announcements this morning. Mr. Larry Grant DeVinny passed away on Saturday, September the 8th at his residence. A private celebration of life will be held at a later date. Larry was laid to rest at Calvary Baptist Church. Crow's Mortuary, serving the family of Mr. Larry Grant DeVinny. Anita Lynn Sims, age 57, of Whiteside Road, Forest City, died Friday, September the 7th at Hospice of the Carolina Foothills. A memorial service to honor Lynn's life will be conducted at 4 o'clock today at Harriet Memorial Free Will Baptist Church. The family will receive friends 1 hour prior to service time at the church. Harrelson Funeral and Cremation Services has been entrusted with the arrangements for Anita Lynn Sims of Forest City. Randy Lee Henson, age 60, of Rutherfordton, died Saturday at Hospice of the Carolina Foothills. A celebration of Randy's life will be held at a later date, and Harrelson Funeral and Cremation Service has been entrusted with the arrangements for Randy Lee Henson. James Jimmy Goforth, age 72, of Forest City, died Sunday, September the 10th, at his residence. The funeral Service will be conducted at 3 o'clock Wednesday, September the 12th at Chase Baptist Church with Reverend Scott Butler officiating. Family will receive friends 1 hour prior to the service in the church fellowship hall. A graveside service at Rutherford County Memorial Cemetery with military honors being provided by the Rutherford County Honor Guard to follow the service at the church. Mr. Goforth will lie in state from 8 a.m. until 12 p.m. on Wednesday at the funeral home. Harrelson Funeral and Cremation Services has been entrusted with the arrangements for James Jimmy Goforth. Those are the death announcements we have this morning. For the complete information on these, be sure to tune in this morning at 11:35, and then again at 5:10 this afternoon. As part of the afternoon report, we'll have again the complete obituaries of those that have deceased. The caller and report coming up here in just a few moments. We're also going to be updating you on Florence as she begins to approach the Carolinas coasts. Mandatory evacuation Cape Hatteras this morning, mandatory evacuation on the Carolina coast as well, so we'll keep you posted from our networks and other reports that have become available to us here. Let me remind you, though, if you ever wondered what it takes to become a Habitat homeowner, how Habitat works, so what you have to do to get into a new home of your very own, and how much money do you have to buy a new home? Well, there's going to be a Habitat workshop informational session to learn about Habitat Humanity program and get your questions answered, and that'll be Saturday, September the 15th at 10 a.m. at Rutherford County Habitat Office. That's 269 West Main Street in Forest City. Make your plans to attend that if you're interested in knowing more about Habitat for Humanity.
In the beginning, Barack Hussein Obama created a massive stimulus package and said it was good, but it was not. The economy dragged. On the second day, Barack Hussein O created Obamacare and said it was good. The economy sank even lower. On the third day, Obama created pallets of cash to Iran. On the fourth day, the Paris Climate Accords. And on the fifth day, Obama opened the southern border to unaccompanied minors. He said it was all good, but it was not. On the sixth day, Obama looked at all he had created and saw high unemployment, record food stamp beneficiaries, racial animosity and strife, high taxes, a stagnant economy. Obama saw all of that and smiled. On the seventh day, after promising that Hillary would win and that Donald Trump would not, Obama rested. It came to pass that President Trump won. He began dismantling all of Obama's works, brick by brick, door jam by door jam. And it was so good, the economy boomed. Well, now Obama has returned to claim that everything that's good was his doing, his creation, his legacy. But it was not. It never could be, and never will be. Amen. There are a lot of warnings you don't want to miss, like a sign saying bridge out up ahead. But in the digital world, there may be no warning when it comes to cyber threats. That's why the new LifeLock Identity Theft Protection now adds Norton Security. LifeLock uses proprietary technology to help detect threats to your identity, and Norton Security protects your devices from ransomware, emerging viruses, and other online threats. And if you have a problem, their agents will work with you to fix it. Now, of course, no one can stop every cyber threat or prevent all identity theft or even monitor all transactions in all businesses. But having new LifeLock with Norton means that they'll warn you about the threats you could otherwise miss on your own. Join now. Get an extra 10% off your first year, plus a $25 Amazon gift card with annual enrollment. Go to LifeLock.com or call 800-440-4833. Use the promo code RUSH. Terms apply.
The best of both worlds. WCAB 100.9 FM, 590 AM.
Playing the classic oldies.
What's next on America's most listened to talk radio program?
There's some news that's going to frustrate you, some news that's going to make you mad, some news that might intrigue you.
Rush Limbaugh.
Might also inspire you emotionally and intellectually. It's all over the place. We've got some great audio sound bites, and we'll probably squeeze in some phone calls from you, too.
Your radio dial is already precisely set.
So sit tight
for the next Rush Limbaugh program.
From noon to 3, right here on AM 590 WCAB, Rutherfordton.
Stay informed with the best in election coverage all year. North Carolina Network News, ABC Radio News, and local coverage here on the most information for the foothills. WCAB, Rutherfordton.
It's time for you to test drive the affordable, fuel-efficient Ford Fusion from Sisk Family Ford in Forest City. Family-owned Sisk Ford can put you into the car you want with a payment plan you can appreciate. If it's a truck you want, get the Ford truck that's breaking records in sales. Ask about why the sales department is being bragged on with each and every sale that they make. They love your business at Sisk Family Ford, and it shows. New and used automobiles and an award-winning service department makes Sisk Family Ford the choice for so many. Step up to Ford today. Sisk Family Ford, Oak Street, Forest City.
You know, when you need a plumber, you want someone with a reputation of getting right out to you and getting the job done for you the right way. That'll be Olmsted Plumbing. Since 1973, the Olmsted family has been serving homeowners and builders with the best of service. From unclogging a drain to replacing fixtures and appliances to remodeling jobs, their top quality work, fair prices, and punctual service has made them the area's leading plumbing firm. Eric and Chad are continuing that family tradition, and they'd like to serve you. Call 245-7302. Experience plus equipment equals excellence. Olmsted Plumbing at 245-7302.
Wondu Jans was born in 1823. He was an easygoing person, but as a young man, while the men were away, Mexicans attacked his village and killed the women and children, along with his mother, wife, and 3 of his own children. This instilled in him a hatred for Mexicans that lasted throughout his life. A year after the attack on his village, Wondu Jans and other braves retaliated, killing several Mexicans. In this battle, he won his more popular Spanish name, Geronimo. Geronimo was never a chief and always deferred to his people's true chiefs. Usually having a group of braves numbering no more than 50 for decades, he succeeded in keeping settlers off Apache lands. Although Geronimo never used a firearm himself, he made sure his braves had the best available. They even used field glasses. Using his knowledge of the desert environment, he was able to evade the best the Army could send. By 1886, Geronimo was in his 60s, and the number of whites in the area kept growing. So on September 4, at Skeleton Canyon, Arizona, Geronimo surrendered to General Nelson A. Miles, becoming the last American Indian warrior to formally surrender to the Army. During the years of conflict, several times Geronimo had agreed to live on a reservation and later left it. This time his people were shipped to Florida. Later, the Army moved him to Oklahoma, where he became a celebrity. He even rode in President Theodore Roosevelt's inaugural parade in 1905. Geronimo died at the age of 86, a romantic symbol of the Wild West. You've just heard another story from Chronicle of the Old West. I'm Dakota Livesay.
16 minutes after 7 on this terrific Tuesday morning. We're being kind today to Joyce Ward. Joyce is retired, lives in Rutherfordton, and is celebrating a birthday today. Now we're going to the phone to get started with our call-around portion of our news and information. And we're stopping first at the Sheriff's Department. And Sheriff Chris Francis is on the phone right now. Good morning, Sheriff.
Good morning, Jim. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing well. Got my eye on the coast right now and see what's going to take place down there. It looks pretty treacherous, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and that's good advice for all of us to do, not only what it does to the coast, but what it will later impact the foothills and the mountains as well.
I know a lot of troopers from North and South Carolina, upstate, this area even, are going down there to on duty, active duty, to help with the traffic flow that's coming out of there.
Certainly is busy time, so I think we all need to, again, to be aware and to make sure that we have what we need here in Rutherford County to be safe, just in case we're without power for a few days, if that were to happen.
Right. What's on the report today, Cheryl?
Jim, the last 24 hours, the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office has responded to 153 calls to service. There have been 11 arrests processed at the county jail. Currently incarcerated, we have 210. Among those arrested, Marshall Craig Rippey, 47-year-old white male of Ellenboro, was charged with assault on a female. have to go before a district court judge for bond. Eddie Dylan Ruff, 23-year-old male of Forest City, was charged with failure to appear, received a $3,000 secure bond. Angelica Hope Peeler, 32-year-old female of Forest City, was charged with failure to appear and received a $1,500 secure bond. Jimmy Wayne Cole, a 32-year-old male from Mooresboro, was charged with failure to appear, received a $3,000 bond. Billy Mack Farrell McAlpin, 24-year-old male, looks like from Lake Lure, was charged with trespassing and resist restraint delay, received a $1,000 bond. Billy J. Wilkins, 42-year-old male of Forest City, was charged with possession of Schedule 2, received a $15,000 secure bond. Eddie Dylan Ruff, 23-year-old male of Forest City, was charged with failure to appear, received a $5,000 secure bond. Brian Keith Hicks, 23-year-old male of Ruston, was charged with failure to appear, resist restraint delay, received a $1,500 secure bond. Ethan Mitchell King, 28-year-old male of Boston, was charged with carrying a concealed weapon and possession of a weapon of mass destruction. The deputy sheriff had located him in a license check in a stolen vehicle with the stolen guns. Ruston Police Department also charged him with the larceny of the vehicle as well as stealing of the firearms. Total, with our charges and theirs, he received a $40,000 secure bond. In the instance, we had assault on a female on Forest Ford Road in Ruston. The victim did receive minor injuries, and this is where Marshall Rippey was taken into custody. We had damaged property in larceny on Jonas Road. It looks like someone had damaged a mailbox that contained the battery for the gate that was at the entrance to the driveway, causing damage and a larceny total of $150. We had a break-and-enter in larceny on Chili Bowl Road in Rutherford, where a .45 caliber handgun was taken. We had a break-in and entering and damaged property on Kelly Road, where someone broke in and damaged a bed that was inside the residence. We have a damaged property on Thompson Road in Rutherford. Looks like a Toyota Camry had been shot with a BB gun, very similar to what we had over the weekend in each of the city limits as well as out in the county. We had a possession of a weapon of mass destruction, carried concealed weapon on Oakland Road. And that's where Ethan King was taken into custody. Also, recovery of a stolen vehicle in that case. And we had a felony larceny on Hardy Drive in Ruston. It looks like the tenant had moved out and there was items missing when they did. Looks like a Craftsman toolbox, a Sanyo TV, a Sony TV, racing parts, and some other tools were taken in that incident. And, Jen, that's what we had to report for today.
All right, Sheriff, thank you very much. Sounds like it's still busy over there.
We are staying that way.
Have a great day and be safe out there, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you, and take care.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye-bye.
21 minutes now past the hour of 7. Cloudy morning here on Tuesday. McCurry-Dake Motors has been providing the stylish Buick for families for generations. Come browse a new selection and you'll find the car that everybody's talking about. The family-owned dealership is deeply entrenched in our community. They understand the needs of the customers and will work with them to find the perfect car, truck, or crossover for their lives. Experience the new Buick at McCurry-Dake Motors. Take a look around the website to learn more about everything offered at McCurry-Dake Motors, 1740 U.S. Highway 74A, Forest City. Here's Candy now with our report from 911 Communications Center. Good morning, Candy.
Good morning.
What's on your report?
In the past 24 hours, Roseboro County Sheriff's Office 911 Communications Center has processed 368 911 calls and administrative calls, which consisted of 37 for EMS, 16 for rescue. For law enforcement, the Sheriff's Office had 153, Fort City had 59, Rutherford had 37, Lake Lure had 2, and Spindle had 56. Our fire calls, Forest City responded to a motor vehicle accident and an industrial fire alarm, Green Hill to a motor vehicle accident, and Spindle to a motor vehicle accident, and that's all we had.
Thanks, Candy. Have a great day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Well, if you've been thinking about doing some remodeling of your kitchen, maybe your bath, stop and see Shauna Martin and Steve Marshall for your kitchen and bath ideas. You got a free consultation. So let them bring your remodel or new construction dreams into a reality. Talk to them about what you have in mind. They can help you walk through those. They have a beautiful showroom with a huge selection of cabinet and countertop samples and 2 full-size kitchens to get your ideas on a roll. With over 35 years of combined experience, Shanna and Steve can help you through every step of the way. Stop by and see them at Henson's. You'll be surprised and glad you did. You'll find them over on Duke Street, Forest City, more than just a lumber yard. Let's check on Ruby Taylor, see the report from there. Ruby, good morning.
Good morning.
What's on your report from SDO?
Well, the fire department didn't have any calls, and on my birthday calendar, I've got Wendy Roper having birthday and Mr. and Mrs. Al Radford having anniversary. And hope these people have a nice day, and the signs are in the rains and going to Secrets tomorrow. And that's all I got, Jim.
All right, Ruby, thank you so much. Goodbye.
Thank you, and bye-bye.
Getting ready for deer season doesn't have to be burdensome with your friends standing by to help. Farmer's Friend, feed, seed, and supply in Rutherford. Deer corn, $7 for a 50-pound bag. Cob corn, $8. Peanut deer mix, $12.99 for the 50-pound bag. Sugar beet, $25 for 3 pounds. All your deer season preparation is now available at Farmer's Friend. Feed, seed, and supply. Check out the best price for Kills Weed Killer, $47.99 for 2.5 gallons. Farmer's Friend, Feed, Seed, and Supply, 188 Whiteside Road, Rutherford.
Steve is standing by for us up at Rumbling Ball and see if things are slowed down up there, ain't he? Steve, good morning.
Good morning, Jim. No, not really. We're preparing for worst case scenario for this weekend with the weather event. So it's always something, isn't it?
There's always something going on. Never any dull moments around here.
Yeah, we you know, at least we're not sitting by idly.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a huge difference between what could happen versus worst case scenario. So you know, you always prepare for the worst case. Yeah. So we're there's only so much you can do, and then after that, you just have to try to deal with it as it gets here. So hopefully it won't stall out and just stay there, sit, and turn. Hopefully it'll move on as soon as we can, as soon as it will.
I hope so.
Since we're not going to be, it's going to be pretty ugly. So we're just hopefully we'll be ready. We're doing all we can, all our preparation and so forth. And we got the equestrian center starts, I believe, today, and we got 911 today. So just a lot going on. We got our flags lowered.
You said on Sunday night you got over 2 inches of rain. How much did you get yesterday?
We just got about 3/10.
Really?
It wasn't too bad, which that was a blessing based on what is coming. Yeah. We want to kind of, I don't know if the phrase "dry out" is appropriate, but in some way maybe drying out, not having to deal with as much precip. But I'm looking at our rain gauge right now. It wasn't too much at all. A couple tenths of an inch.
We got more than that down here yesterday afternoon.
Oh, really?
So, yeah,
okay.
It poured for a while.
Yeah. Oh, well. Hopefully, we won't get much today, and as we look forward to what's coming this weekend.
You have any friends along the coast down in South Carolina or North Carolina that you're concerned about?
No, I do not. Got friends on Facebook, that I barely know, and they're doing all those things that need to be done.
Sure.
But those areas are just going to be devastated. So we can talk bad about what we're going to get, but it's nothing. It pales in comparison to what they're going to get.
Yes, sir. That's exactly
right. So we're thinking of them, praying for them, their families, and all that, and hopefully they'll heed to the evacuation warnings and get out, because it's nothing to play with.
I have a nephew who's a state trooper in South Carolina, and they got word that they're sending him and some of his fellow troopers in South Carolina down to the coast to help expedite traffic and help them with the traffic flow there. So they're concerned about, families are concerned, of course, about all of that happening. So.
I came to get 22 because I thought Barbara was Yeah, as I understand it, they're a lot of those major thoroughways are making them one way, so folks can get out. They can double the amount of traffic they can they normally can handle.
Yeah.
So hopefully, and a lot of folks will be coming here thinking there's shelter here, and we got the Equestrian Center folks here, and
You're booked up, aren't you?
and then they got a lot of tents over there at the Equestrian Center. So I don't know to what extent they can handle what kind of winds. We don't know exactly what kind of winds we're going to get yet, based on how it turns. So we hopefully it'll turn.
Hopefully folks will be prepared for it. Hopefully it will turn.
Yeah, it'll turn and move around a little bit north. I hate it for anybody that's going to have to deal with it, but whatever happens, and we'll be here or whatever.
Steve, I appreciate you, and keep us posted on what's going on, and we'll touch bases back with you again tomorrow.
Okay, we'll be here.
Thanks, Steve.
Yes, sir.
Bye-bye. 29 after 7 o'clock, right here on this terrific Tuesday morning. We'll get to our next phone call right after this.
Get ready for those hot summer months driving with a stop at RS Speedy Lube, Railroad Avenue. The Express Inspection Station gets you back on the road and keeps you legal. Speedy Lube has 2 lanes to serve you, gets you in and out in no time, and vacuum your car while the oil is being changed, air conditioner checked, transmission flushed, wiper blades replaced if needed, even a top-of-the-line car wash, all at RS Speedy Lube and Inspection Station, Railroad Avenue in Ruth. Take care of that car and have a safe trip.
Farm Bureau Insurance doesn't hire celebrities to push auto coverage. We think people might like to make decisions based on service and savings, not just because that guy from that show says it's a good idea. Instead of faces you know from your TV, we offer faces you know from your neighborhood, because we're headquartered in North Carolina with local agents right in your town. That's really the only thing we want to be famous for. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance, helping you is what we do best.
In Rutherford County, please call 287-2428.
North Carolina Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Insurance of North Carolina, Inc., Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Jackson, Mississippi, an independent licensee of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
Bob Hodge is up next. He's up in the I'm about to move you again, Bob. He's up in the Hudlow Fire District area with our report today. Bob, good morning.
Well, good morning.
I'm about to move you again today, Bob.
Well, you got your tongue over your eye, too.
That's
see
right.
what you're saying this morning.
Got too much on my mind this morning.
That's right. Oh.
You doing
well,
okay?
I hope you're having a good morning.
I'm having a good morning so far. It sure is.
Well, that's good there.
Hope you are.
Yeah, we're doing good up here so far this morning, and with the fire department, it's been pretty quiet overnight. We've made a couple of medical calls, hadn't had any fire wreck calls, and I want to wish Jeannie Burgess and Joyce Ward happy birthday this morning. And Jim, things are running along good so far up here, and look like that storm will be moving in a few days, but I was just thinking that people evacuating from the coast back up this way, they might have a hard time finding a place to stay with.
Well, that's exactly right. About every accommodation this side of Charlotte's just about taken over.
Yeah.
So I don't know where folks are going to stay. You may have to open up the fire department up there, Bob. Put some pup tents down or something.
Yeah, people rent out your house there or something there.
And a lot of folks have done that too. They rented out their houses for a couple of weeks and making good money in that process. I've heard folks making several $1,000s a week to rent out their house for 2 weeks.
Yeah, people's done it before there. Yeah, and they could do it there.
If we did, I'd want them to clean it up too while they were there. I would.
Yeah, have them to clean it up. Yeah.
Cut the grass.
Oh, but yeah, you got to be careful who you rent it to, wouldn't you?
Yes, that's right. That's right.
Well, Jim, you take care and have a good day.
Thanks, Bob. You too, and I'll see you tomorrow.
All right. Bye-bye.
Gregory's Original Restaurant in the Park Lane Plaza is the perfect dining choice of Rutherford County. Greg offers all your favorite dishes. Try their delicious subs, grinders, pasta, chicken, burgers, fresh garden salads, and the most delicious steaks served with mushroom gravy or peppers and onions. Be sure to call on Gregory's for all your catering needs at 287-2171. Check out the website for menus and event information, www.gregorysoriginal.com. Gregory's in the Park Lane Plaza in Rutherfordton. The Recliner Center is happy to introduce new styles of spring air mattresses. Some come with the cool gel that you're going to love. Remember the days when you could flip your mattress? Well, Spring Air is now offering the flippable mattress. Check out these for a really great night's sleep. The Recliner Center is needing to make room for some new styles of lift chairs, recliners, and sofas, and you're going to get some special deals on the floor models and extra inventory in the store. Now, you always know you get the best deals in town at the Recliner Center, and now's the best time to go shopping. Check on the inventory of new recliners, sofas, and lift chairs coming in. Now, some of the styles have a new water-repellent fabric. Water beads up instead of soaking into the fabric. Leave it to the Recliner Center to offer you the best choices and best prices. Ask to see the new Wall Hugger style of furniture. Hours are Wednesday through Friday 9 to 5 and Saturday 9 to 2. The Recliner Center on Cooper's Gap Road in Rutherfordton.
7:33 right now in our football high school game of the week this week. Schedule East Rutherford at Morganton Patton. Chase has a bye week, and RS Central is at South Caldwell, and TJ has a bye week also. So only 2 games on schedule for this Friday night. Now we're heading toward Cherry Mountain Fire District, and Sue Price is on the phone to give us an update from there. Good morning.
Good morning, Jim.
You doing good today?
Nice morning. Yeah, doing okay. Hope you are.
Yes, indeed.
Good. We got a lot of rain last night, or late yesterday evening, and lots of thunder, booming thunder.
Yes.
But we were needing some rain, but it really poured. I wish we could have got slow rain, but we take what comes and be thankful for it. But I don't know what we're going to get later on. It's looking bad, isn't it?
Pretty rough in the head, I'm afraid.
Yeah, we don't know what to expect hardly. But I hope everybody is getting ready for it and getting out of places where they're being evacuated. It's a scary time for them, I'm sure. I started out at 69 degrees this morning, so not too bad out there. Not going to be another warm day, though. Don't have any birthdays on my church calendar. On my personal calendar, I got Gail Van Dyke, and of course Gail's on Fairview's calendar also. And First Broad doesn't have anything today, so not too many celebrating over here, but we hope anybody that's having a birthday or anniversary will have a real good day today and enjoy their special day. The FFA will have a fundraiser that's Saturday the 22nd at the drop-in in Bostic, hot dogs and hamburgers, desserts and drinks. I had that for last Saturday, and I had the wrong date, so I hope nobody got disappointed. But anyway, it's coming up on the 22nd, so come out and support the FFA and help them out with that. And so far, that's the only announcement I have, Jim. It's just quiet and calm over here, looking for a good day, and I hope you'll have one.
Thanks, Sue. I appreciate that. You too, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye. Sue Price reporting in this morning from Cherry Mountain Fire District. Well, Lisa Terry with Miraclear has 2 offices she looks after, 2 convenient locations for you and your family to get to. One of them is in Forest City at 1512 West Main Street, Suite 102. And over in Shelby is 1506 East Dixon Boulevard. And you could also check them out on the web at www.miracle-ear-forestcitync.com and find out more about Miraclear and its great history of service to many thousands of people around the world. Now, Miraclear is an American-made product, and that's a good thing. You can schedule your free hearing test by calling 368-4126. You may want to ask about the Miracle Ear Genius 2.0 with that advanced technology. You're going to be amazed for that. It cuts out all those embarrassing whistling noises you may have been accustomed to. It cuts that out. So ask Lisa about that when you have your free hearing test. No obligation to that, no cost whatsoever, and no long stay. Just a few minutes will take them to do that free hearing test. You'll know better how to deal with it. That's Miracle Ear, Forest City and in Shelby. Now we're heading over toward Bostic area for the Woman of the Hour. Audrey, good morning. How you doing?
I'm all right. How are you, Jim?
Doing well. You got everything ready, open and ready, Adam, this morning at the drop-in?
Yeah, we do. I tell you, it's pretty busy this morning. You can tell school's back in session and wide open.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
They know when it's time to get good food, don't they?
Yeah, they sure do. But I'm just going to let you know that we still have those mix and match biscuits back there, 2 for $3, which is the sausage and the liver mush. And, that's just an awesome deal. We'd like to encourage them to stop in and grab one on their way to work or school.
That's a good way to do it. It's always hot, always ready to eat, and they can pack some away for lunch as well. Take care of them for lunch, breakfast, lunch, and if they want to go get something for supper tonight, you got something prepared for that too, don't you?
Yeah, we do. And by the way, we've got those new stack subs in right now. And, a few people, we had a day of sampling, and a few people stopped in and sampled them, and they're going really well. We got the Philly cheesesteak sub, a roast beef, a turkey, Italian meatball, and a grilled chicken, and just on and on. There's several other kinds, and I tried one of the turkey the other day, and, Jim, I tell you what, it was good.
Oh, boy. Sounds like it would be. I'm a turkey fan anyway, so I'll have to come over and try one of those.
Yes, they're great.
The drop-in store there in Boise, Drop-In Family Grocery. Audrey Allman is the one I'm talking with right now. She is the manager, and they're open from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Always convenient service. They'll take care of you if you can't get in and out of the car. Just call ahead and tell them what you want on your groceries. They'll bring it out to the car for you. Or if you want a good breakfast or good lunch, they got personal service like nobody else. And folks are loving the fact that the drop-in store is so close by there on Bostic Sunshine Highway. Audrey, you have a great day over there.
All right. You too, Jim.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
It can be a tough call when it comes time to provide daycare services for an aging parent or loved one. Rutherford Life Care can be just what you're looking for. Rutherford Life Care offers adults a safe and fun place during the day for medical monitoring, nutritional meals, and daily activities. Rutherford Life is licensed by the state of North Carolina Division of Aging. Call them today and let them answer questions you may have. That's 288-1697, 288-1697. Rutherford Life offers a staff of professionals who show the love and compassion that you entrust your loved ones to. That's Rutherford Life Care Services, located on Thunder Road, Spindale. Again, that phone number is 288-1697.
19 minutes before 8 o'clock and cloudy skies, 69 degrees. We are going to be warming up to about 85 for a daytime high today and dropping back to 69, about where we are right now for the overnight low here in the foothills. Let's check in up in Union Mills with a Union Mills reporter, Brenda Kelly. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you on this terrific Tuesday morning?
I'm feeling good. How about you?
I'm feeling mighty fine.
Woke up with heaven on your mind?
Exactly.
Well, let's get to it that you're doing so well.
Yeah, I'm doing good. We hope everybody else is, and hope everybody's getting prepared for all this bad weather they're predicting. And it's just a terrible time. It's something else.
There's always something going on, isn't there?
Yeah, it is. But we'd be bored if there wasn't stuff going on, wouldn't we?
That's right. From the fires in California to the earthquakes around, and to flooding and tornadoes and hurricanes out this way, and
hurricanes.
Yeah. It's always something.
I know it.
Ain't a lot of fun.
Yeah, those fires have been terrible. I believe I heard them say it's the worst it's ever been out there.
I believe that's right.
Yeah. But maybe God's trying to tell them they need to get their lives straightened out.
It could be. Well, it's totally the truth.
That's right. That's exactly right. But let's see, I've got 66 degrees on the front porch, and we had 0.4 of an inch of rain out of that. I think we got 2 different storms, but it seems like we did. I'm not sure. But anyway, we got 0.4 of an inch of rain out of it. And birthdays today, we've got Tiffany Lowry, Jean Ashley, and the lady you're being kind to, Joyce Ward, Cooper Woody, and Michael Hefner. I don't have anybody on Round Hill. I was going to say Round Hill. I'm like you. I can't talk this morning.
I know it. I washed my tongue. I can't do a thing with it.
But we hope everybody has a good day on this their special day. I went to school with a Michael Hefner. I just wonder if that's the one I went to school with. But anyway, we got a spaghetti dinner fundraiser Saturday, September the 15th, from 5 to 8 p.m. This will be at the White House Community Center on Painters Gap Road in Union Mills. Adults $8, kids 5 to 10, $4, and under 5 eat free. They're going to have spaghetti, salad, garlic breadsticks, ice cream, assorted homemade desserts, tea, and coffee. That ice cream sounds good.
Love it.
And it said something. It says limited tickets available. They must be purchased in advance at Cove Corner Store. I think that's the prime rib dinner. They've not got that on here, but they do. They sent me 2 things, and the prime rib dinner is October the 20th. And usually you have to buy them in advance, and the cost of them is $13.50. So I think that must have been the prime rib dinner. They've not got it on there.
It could be.
You could call Lewis Gordon at 828-545-7161 for more details. And other than that, I don't think I have any announcements or anything.
You just going to sit around and rest today?
Now I'm going to take my car and get it inspected. I got to get the tag and all that before the 30th of the month.
Yeah, I've got to do a little bit of that myself today.
Is it too early to get a flu shot?
I think they've already begun those, yes. I think they're doing those at most all the drugstores right now. I know I heard the Swift Drug talking about they're doing them.
Yeah.
And you can make plans at the Medicine Box in Rutherford.
Well, that's good. Everybody needs to get one, although I get mine every year, and I had the flu twice last year, so, who knows. Maybe this year they'll get it right, and it'll be
a different strand this year.
Yeah, so, and I had a part of a pumpkin cheesecake from the drop-in over at Bostic. I believe it was either Friday or Saturday morning. That thing was delicious.
Pumpkin cheesecake?
Yeah.
Wow, sounds good.
It was good. They have some good stuff over there.
They really do. I'm loving the drop-in chicken now. I'll tell you, they got some.
They have wonderful chicken. I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, listen, you go make it a good Tuesday, and I'll see you back here tomorrow.
Okay, catch you later.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
7:45 right here on 100.9 FM, 590 AM, and thank you for making WCAB your radio station of choice for the foothills. The entire team at Crow's Funeral Home and Cremation Services can help you with options available. They will help you find a balance between the emotional, spiritual, and financial needs of your loved one. During this time, it's important to turn to someone you can trust and depend on. Crow's Mortuary and Crow's Mortuary and Crematory has a long history of trust and dependability. Crow's Mortuary and Crematory. That's 286-2304. They have a lot of different carpet and floor covering at Southern Carpet, but they know how real life can be. They understand the kids make a mess. The dogs track in mud. That's why they carry floors that stand up to the day-to-day, like Target Flooring. They have the widest range of flooring products that are both beautiful and resilient, and you should go look at it. Make your choice from their selection. Right now you can find out more about these fabulous flooring products at Southern Carpet in Forest City. Find some excellent pricing right now. You'll find the perfect floor to fit your home and your budget. So hurry on over. Take advantage of some great home-style service at Southern Carpet. They're homegrown. They're right here. They're your neighbors, and they'd love to serve you. Southern Carpet, 1512 West Main Street. And by the way, they have an office space for rent right beside of them. If you're interested in the office space, they can make a great office for you. Call 245-0310 and ask about that. All right, we're going over to Ellenboro now. Mr. Luther Gilligan is on the phone to give us an update from the fire district over there. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, you two. It's a nice day down here. I hope you're having a good day.
I'm having a wonderful day.
Well, good. Talking to me will make it even better.
That's right. That's exactly right. I was thinking the same thing.
Well,
this time next week we're going to be better because we'll be anticipating the cotton candy and all those hot dogs and hamburgers opening at the fair.
I'll be thinking about them now. All them funnel cakes, that corn, cob, and barbecue sandwiches, and hamburgers, and hot dogs, and all that stuff. And all those cakes and pies they're going to have.
Yeah, man.
Won't be a good time to check my A1C.
No.
It won't be a good time. We won't check it during the fair. But it's a good day today. We had a good shower of rain last night. Refreshed things and cleaned the air and got all the smog out and wet the ground. Grass grow now. But then else, when I see the fire department, they had 2 calls yesterday, one yesterday afternoon and one last night. Other than that, they're quiet this morning. Nothing going on with them. Nothing going on anywhere. Everybody just grabbing their sandwich and gas and heading on out to work. But we got birthday day. See, Josh Corbett's had one, and Matt Macy's had one, and his big brother Kenny Mace. They're all having birthday today. So hope these 3 young men have a great day and enjoy their day. Josh, he's had good school this morning. And that's what's going on down here. You have a great day up there. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Thanks, Luther. Enjoy your day.
I'm going to have a great time. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Luther Gilligan reporting in from Ellenboro, and that leaves us time now for a birthday party for this 11th day of September. September the 11th is what it is, and may we never forget what happened in New York City. Now it's time to call your birthdays in at 287-3356, and we'll give away some Daylight Donuts from Granny B's in just a few moments. 287-3356. Did you know that Rutherford County's largest pediatrics practice has 5 providers to serve the children and youth of this area? And even better, Rutherford Children's Care is welcoming new patients. With 3 physicians and 2 mid-level providers, the group is available to examine, diagnose, and treat patients from birth to age 18. Rutherford Children's Care is conveniently located at 162 Commercial Drive in Forest City, just behind Big Dave's Restaurant. To schedule an appointment, call Rutherford Children's Care at 828-287-9325. That's really something to crow about. It's the Daylight Donuts from Granny B's in Spindale. Get yours today. While they're fresh, they're good, they're delicious. It's Daylight Donuts. It's something to crow about. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to Joyce Ward of Rutherfordton. She is the one we're being kind to today. And Tiffany Lowry, a teacher at Rutherford Elementary. She's a kindergarten teacher, is having a birthday. Shanae Hamilton of Forest City. Aaron Ruff of Sunnyview over in Polk County, Debbie Tessney of Rutherfordton, and Chandler Burnett of Polk County also celebrating a birthday today. And on the September the 11th, Tiffany Lowry, Gene Atchley, Joyce Ward, Cooper Woody, and Michael Hefner. So happy birthday to all you. We'll find out who's going to win those donuts in just a moment. Stand by.
Is there someone you simply cannot stand? Do you feel they are crooked, unscrupulous, and evil? You may have personally been wronged by them or have seen what they did to someone else. It's not fair frequently comes from your lips as you see this person continue to prosper and get ahead. You may even ask, where is God? The psalmist was faced with a similar situation. He saw the wicked accumulating more personal possessions, rising higher up the social ladder, and seldom getting sick, while others who tried to do right seldom got ahead and often suffered physical illness. He questioned God. He began to wonder whether it was worth it to be good and do right. He came close to giving up a godly lifestyle. Then he went to his church, and he found out what the end of the wicked would be. He then began to feel sorry for those who left God out of their lives. A little girl who misbehaved was required to eat her meal at a distance from the rest of the family. The family did their best to ignore her so as to reinforce the punishment. All was going well until they heard the little girl praying, and as they listened they heard, "I thank you, Lord, for preparing a table before me in the presence of my enemies." You may feel overwhelmed by what you see as injustices, but the closing words of the 23rd Psalm reminds us that God somewhere down the road prepares a table for us that will show us and our enemies that His way was right. This is Bill Hostler with today's Key to Confident Living.
And congratulations to Chandler Burnett of Polk County. Chandler has won the donuts this morning, so happy birthday to Chandler. We'll have that certificate right here to come by, claim it, and go by Granny B's. Stand by for the third hour coming up. Andrew Tisdale will be gracing our Blue Room here in a few minutes.
For once in my life, I have someone who needs me, someone I needed so long. For once, unafraid, I can go where life leads me, and somehow I know I'll be strong. For once I can touch what my heart used to dream of long before I knew. Someone warm like you would make my dreams come true. For once in my life, I won't let sorrow hurt me, not like it's hurt me before. For once, I have something I know won't desert me.
NCN News, I'm Mike Rayleigh. The National Hurricane Center issues a hurricane watch effective from Edisto Beach, South Carolina to the North Carolina-Virginia border. This as a Category 4 storm, Hurricane Florence, continues to make its way towards the U.S. Brian Haynes is with the National Weather Service in Raleigh, and he tells us
max winds are about 140 miles an hour, and it is about 410 miles south of Bermuda. It is heading west-northwest at about 13 miles an hour, and it is holding at a Category 4 hurricane.
Daniel Brown is at the National Hurricane Center in Miami, and he says the storm packs a punch.
It will bring not only the strong winds, but a life-threatening storm surge, and because it's forecast to slow down, we're expecting a tremendous amount of heavy rainfall and inland flooding over the coming next several days.
Florence is expected to bring some damage to many parts of North Carolina. One of the state agencies will be heavily involved in the recovery efforts is the Department of Insurance. Commissioner Mike Causey tells us,
I think every state agency has been involved with the emergency management folks, and I've talked with the Speaker of the House last night, and they're working hard on it. We have a meeting this morning with the governor, the Council of State.
John Naretz owns a hotel in Oak Island in North Carolina. He told his guests they have to leave now.
If it does hit, and everything I own is here. I have to be here. I have a business here. I have a house here.
Some people are packing up and heading out while others are choosing to stay behind in Dare County. This woman tells us,
I'm kind of disappointed because my birthday is Wednesday. September 12th is my birthday and we have to leave early, but we're with friends. We're having a good time. I'm happy.
Residents like Bruce McPherson in Greenville are getting out to get supplies.
Batteries, make sure we have extra water, make sure we have items that aren't easily disposable.
More than 1 million people have been told to evacuate as Hurricane Florence, now a Category 4 storm, moves towards us. You're listening to NCN News.
The annual Big Tailgate Tour, driven by Continental Tire, is on the road again.
This Saturday is quarterback day as Will Greer in West Virginia visit Ryan Finley and NC State. We're warming up from noon to 3 with the Continental Tire Toss at Backyard Bistro across from Gardner Finley Stadium.
Pick up free koozies, t-shirts, and more from Sport Clips, Lose It and Lose It, and Continental Tire. Remember to drive with care on your Continental tires and experience the ultimate MVP haircut at Sport Clips.
Tailgate with us, BigTailgateTour.com.
Sometimes the simplest things can make the biggest difference. An extra pair of hands, a smile, or a shoulder. At North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance, we feel the same about home and auto coverage, affordable rates, trusted service, and local agents. After all, making one simple difference in your life helps you make a big difference in another's. Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
With a storm the magnitude of Hurricane Florence, you can expect problems with flooding, and that leads to power outages. Duke Energy Progress is expecting Hurricane Florence to bring widespread outages when it makes landfall on Thursday night. Spokesperson Meredith Archie tells ABC 11.
A storm of this magnitude could take multiple days and in some cases several weeks to fully restore power to customers, and it all depends on different factors.
Several North Carolina colleges and universities have announced they're closing and canceling events ahead of Hurricane Florence. Schools that have canceled classes and operations for most of the week include North Carolina State University, East Carolina University, and the University of North Carolina, Wilmington. The U.S. military is making preparations for landfall for Florence.
I'm Cammie McCormick at the Pentagon. The Navy moved 30 Virginia-based ships out to sea yesterday to get them out of harm's way. They're being positioned, according to one official, so they can immediately return and begin rescue and recovery operations after the storm. On bases in Virginia, sailors have been sandbagging buildings, and hundreds of National Guard troops have been called up in the region.
Today marks the 17th anniversary of the September 11th attacks on the World Trade Center. Many lives are affected to this day by the collapsing of the Twin Towers. WCBS TV reporter Sean Adams has more on the story.
Fog and mist hover over the waterfalls that mark the footprints of the World Trade Center towers. It is a gray morning except for the colorful bouquets of flowers left next to names etched in bronze. Joe Quinn comes every year to honor his brother Jimmy, who worked for Cantor Fitzgerald.
We'll be there every year we go there. It's become like this solemn family reunion.
17 years later, the death toll continues to rise. First responders stricken with cancer from toxic World Trade Center dust. Sean Adams for CBS News at the September 11th Memorial.
Mike Rayleigh, NCN News.
Today's hits and yesterday's memories, WCAB Rutherfordton.
From ABC News, I'm Aaron Katursky in Lower Manhattan, 17 years after the terror attacks of September 11th. One World Trade Center, the signature skyscraper at this site that used to be known as Ground Zero, is shrouded in fog, befitting the mood here. Family members clutching photographs of the dead solemnly make their way to this site for a ceremony of remembrance. It is by now familiar, the recitation of names, the tolling of bells, the moments of silence to mark the times when planes hit the towers and when the towers fell. But it is no less haunting 17 years later as the death toll from 9/11 continues to grow. In addition to the nearly 3,000 people killed at this site, retired firefighters and police officers have been dying of 9/11 related illnesses. There are more names to recall. I'm Aaron Katursky in Lower Manhattan. Now with more news, here's Sherry Preston.
President Trump will mark the day in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, paying his respects at the memorial for those who were on board United Flight 93. With Hurricane Florence now a Category 4 aimed at the Carolina coast, evacuation orders are going into effect. South Carolina Governor Henry McMaster.
The order now is to get on out of there, and if conditions change, we'll let you know.
I'm Rob Marciano on Wrightsville Beach in North Carolina, where Florence is expected to arrive during the day on Thursday, potentially as a catastrophic storm. Folks are scrambling here to prepare, filling sandbags, filling gas tanks, and swiping store shelves of anything they may need to survive pre- and post-storm.
That anonymous op-ed in the New York Times may be having an effect on the president. His son, Donald Trump Jr., exclusively tells ABC News.
I think there are people in there that he can trust. It's a much smaller group than I would like it to be.
The head of the nuclear program in Iran now says he's hoping the deal between Iran and several countries stays together, but he also says if it doesn't, Iran's nuclear program will be stronger than ever. This is ABC News.
Oil and gas investments involve a high degree of risk and are suitable only for qualified SEC-accredited investors. If you're an SEC-defined accredited investor getting ready to do your taxes and wish you had more deductions, you can take action now and start planning for 2018 with a 100% IRS-approved deduction. Invest with Encore Energy. If you're a high-net-worth SEC-defined accredited investor who's interested in participating directly with a proven operator and are qualified to make an investment of at least $250,000, then please call Encore Energy. 800-803-8511. 800-803-8511.
It's time.
Time to join the millions of people that meet happy with Zoom video conferencing. Zoom gives you flawless video, crystal clear audio, and instant sharing across any mobile, tablet, or desktop device. But the best thing about Zoom? It just works. So ditch the distractions, join the movement, and meet happy with Zoom video conferencing. Visit zoom.us to set up your free account today. That's zoom.us. Zoom video conferencing.
The police officer accused of the deadly shooting of a man in his apartment last week says she yelled commands at him, but he ignored her. And in her arrest affidavit, that's why Officer Amber Geiger says she opened fire, killing Botham Jean. Geiger says she thought she was in her own apartment, but she was wrong. Here's ABC's Marcus Moore.
That arrest warrant affidavit also says Geiger lives in the apartment just below Jean's. The lawyer for the family says they disagree with the timeline in that affidavit and that they have witness accounts that dispute how that officer got into Jean's apartment.
A dog has now helped free a man sent to prison for 50 years. ABC's Chuck Severson explains.
Joshua Horner from Redmond, Oregon, was convicted last year of sexual abuse of a minor who testified that Horner threatened to shoot her pets if she went to police and said she saw him fatally shoot her dog to make his point. Horner asked the Oregon Innocence Project for help. They heard that the dog was given away by Horner's then-girlfriend. They found it through an undisputed chain of custody and her looks, indicating the girl lied under oath. A judge dismissed the case. The DA says he's not certain Horner did not sexually abuse the girl, but he's not certain that he did. Chuck Severson, ABC News.
Mayor of a suburb of New Orleans is ordering his parks department not to buy Nike products. And while the memo from the mayor of Kenner, Louisiana, doesn't specifically mention the fact that Colin Kaepernick is in its new ad, it does say the town doesn't want to promote a political message. This is ABC News.
Confused by all the talk about a good night's sleep? There's a lot of new mattress companies, but they're all missing something. They're missing expertise. Introducing Tomorrow, the new mattress and sleep system from Serta Simmons Bedding. Tomorrow is great sleep, delivered right to your door. Try the Tomorrow mattress for 365 nights risk-free at tomorrowsleep.com. Use promo code AWAKE4 for $125 off. tomorrowsleep.com.
Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Our skies should vary between mostly cloudy and partly sunny around the region today, with humid conditions along with some scattered showers and thunderstorms, especially in the afternoon. A couple of those with locally heavy downpours. We'll have highs around 80 to 86. Then tonight, a small chance of a shower or storm, otherwise muggy with lows in the upper 60s to low 70s. We'll have clouds and sun mixed on Wednesday, a few isolated to widely scattered thunder showers and highs up to 82 to 88. I'm meteorologist Mike Moss in the Weather Center.
5 minutes after 8 o'clock on this terrific Tuesday morning, and we're at 69 degrees on cloudy skies, anticipating the temperature to climb here in the foothills about 85 and a 50-50 chance of rain this afternoon. And we'll certainly keep our eyes on Florence, and all the reports we can get our hands on, we'll certainly relay those to you. Right now, though, it is Tuesday morning. Congratulations to Chandler Burnett of Polk County. Chandler won the Daylight Donuts this morning from the drawing, birthday celebration. And we're being kind to Joyce Ward. She's retired. She lives in Ruffton. I want to wish her a happy birthday as well. We're happy to have Andrew Tisdale in the Blue Room this morning. It's Tuesday morning, and it's Andrew Tisdale Day. Right here in the Blue. He's with Edward Jones, making sense of investing, financial advisor. And we're happy to have you. Good morning, sir.
Glad to be here. It's amazing what a small guy from Ellenboro can do. Get every Tuesday Andrew Tisdale Day.
Andrew Tisdale
That's pretty
Day.
good.
That's amazing. You come from a long line of good people.
Yeah, I'm trying to hold that up.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
It's pretty tough to fill some of those shoes.
If you just had your little gas station on the corner there in Ellenboro with a school bell to ring every morning.
Yeah.
Then outside.
You know, I could get that bell in here.
Could you?
I could. I know where it's at.
Do you?
I do.
Yeah. He
always a thought.
Yeah, always a thought. What's on your mind today?
Jim, here's something that people have worked so hard to do, and they are so nervous about the market that they put in, they save, they build up their retirement, and they get nervous about the time that they're going to retire because they're worried about the market, which is very understandable. When you work hard for something, you don't want to lose it. Nobody wants to lose it. You've worked so hard for that, and you don't want to build your house on sand. You want to build a firm foundation. But I want to tell you what's the most risky thing to your portfolio. What's the most risky thing to the lifestyle of your retirement? It's not actually the market. Statistically, is catastrophic events. Things like having to go into a nursing home, having long-term care. More people lose their money off of that than they do is just the market returns or market going up and down. So here's one thing I want people to consider today. Are you prepared, and are you protecting everything that you've built up? If you're fortunate, you will retain your physical and mental capacities throughout your life. But if you ever require some form of expensive, and that is expensive, long-term care or nursing home stay, are you ready? How do you protect these sales from these costs? Well, you can buy long-term care insurance, or you can even combine a life insurance policy with an add-on long-term care rider. There's so many different options to do this. A lot of people say, but that is too expensive, Andrew. I just don't feel right about the prices. Think about this. You have saved how much a month for how long? Now you're ready to retire. Now can you save just a little bit more to protect what you've built up? It is a very smart move for anybody out there. I see it too many times when things like these arise. Long-term care is more devastating to your retirement portfolio than what the market could do.
That's something to think about for sure. Because most folks aren't ready.
Especially in this time. I mean, we're coming to this time in America. And prices are rising. So it's time to really start thinking about it. Specifically, let me give you an age range. Who should be thinking about that? I'm 40 years old. I'm already looking at prices for that. So it's a good time to even start thinking, as you build the retirement, what can I do? Should I be putting away $700 a month in my 401k, or should I put $500 and put $200 over here to protect it on my way? Those are things that you need to talk to someone about. What's best for you? Not everybody fits the cookie cutter approach. That's why it's good to tailorize your plan.
Somebody has questions further about that. How's the best way to get in touch with you?
Good way is just giving me a call, 287-9197. Of course, you're always welcome just to stop by. Either Lisa or I will take a minute and talk to you for a few, and then if we need an appointment, we'll take one.
That's Railroad Avenue there in the Food Line Shopping Center. So we'll encourage you to stop by and see Andrew Tisdale, financial advisor with Edward Jones. And if you have questions about what he just talked about or other things on your mind about financial security, he's the man.
Come by. I'll have coffee.
Always coffee?
Always coffee.
What about a donut or two once in a while?
I have to admit, what Lisa's been doing is bringing the scales told me that I need to stop doing what she brings, like cookies and brownies and cupcakes, and the scale told me it must be pretty good.
Always is good. Edward, thank you. Look forward to seeing you next week.
Andrew Tisdale Day next Tuesday.
Andrew Tisdale Day next Tuesday, which will be the 18th.
The 18th.
That's right.
That'll be great.
We'll always mark it on the calendar.
See y'all.
I'll be back with the Sheriff's Report and other news from here and there in just a moment.
The best of both worlds. WCAB 100.9 FM, 590 AM. Playing the classic oldies.
Stay informed with the best in election coverage all year. North Carolina Network News, ABC Radio News, and local coverage here on the most information for the foothills. WCAB, Rutherfordton.
RE/MAX Journey is proud to support WCAB and their service to the community. Congratulations to WCAB as they begin broadcasting on 100.9 FM, Classic Oldies, the sound of Rutherford County. This message is from the experienced agents at RE/MAX Journey who are ready to help with all your real estate needs. Call us at 828-395-2222 or find us on the web at www.journeyrealtync.com. Put the RE/MAX experience to work for you. Thanks, RE/MAX Journey. Each office is independently owned and operated. Some of the stories now we're looking at, claiming from other sources of being reported this morning. I want to remind you that in about 20 minutes, there will be a 9/11 memorial service at the Forest City Fire and Rescue Building to remember the lives lost on September the 11th, 2001, when America was attacked by terrorists. The ceremony will be held at the fire department there in Forest City on Church Street and will begin with the Rutherford County Firefighters Honor Guard presenting the colors. Special music will be provided. Tony Robbins, a retired alcohol, tobacco, firearms agent and former U.S. Marshal, will be the guest speaker. After the brief talk, the ceremony will include the ringing of the bell, Traditionally, the ringing of the bell is the final event of a line-of-duty death that announces a comrade has come home for the final time. Forest City Fire and Rescue Farrell Hambrick, he's the chief over there. He encourages everyone to attend this memorial service. You're invited to come participate in that. Meanwhile, the Courier is also reporting a man who sustained critical injuries in a motor vehicle crash on Friday, August 31st. Succumbed to his injuries Saturday at Hospice of the Carolina Foothills. Randy Lee Henson, 60, of Sulphur Springs Church Road, Forest City, was driving a 1978 Ford pickup truck west on Sulphur Springs Church Road when he went around a curve, ran off the road to the right, down an embankment, and struck a tree. SDO firefighters and emergency personnel from Rutherford County EMS freed Henson from that wreckage. Henson was airlifted to Spartanburg Regional Medical Center after the wreck, but was not able to recover from his injuries. Henson's family planned a celebration of his life at a later date. Well, two high-profile defendants are scheduled to appear before Superior Court Judge Tommy Davis this week during a 3-day administrative term in the Rutherford County Courthouse. The posted list for this week's term, which begins Wednesday, includes over 175 cases, and among them are those of Jason Daniel Butler and Tiffany Walker. Butler, 45, as you recall, is charged with the murder of Michael Del Splon, 49, also of Forest City. He is currently being held in the Rutherford County Slammer without bond. Butler was arrested on April 9th in South Carolina after an incident that he was charged with, and he later was rescued, was going to kill himself, and they rescued him, brought him back to the court, and was arrested him. Tiffany Walker, the former head of Trinity Christian School, is accused of embezzling more than $134,000 in school funds. The 43-year-old Forest City resident served as Trinity's headmaster from 2010 until she was let go this past January. According to the indictment issued by a grand jury in June, during the last year and a half that she held the position, Walker regularly wrote herself checks, ultimately totaling $34,973.82 from the school's bank account. The indictment says she also misused a school credit card, making over $100,000 in personal purchases. Walker taught at Trinity for more than a decade prior to being promoted to headmaster. She faces 69 counts of embezzlement, 68 counts of obtaining property by false pretenses. She's being represented by attorney Daniel Talbert of law firm Teddy, Meekins, and Talbert in Shelby. There were several businesses and homes damaged by BB guns and paintballs over the weekend. Law enforcement officials in the towns of Forest City, Spindale, and Rutherford County Sheriff's Department are investigating dozens of damage to property cases that occurred from Friday night through Sunday morning. Rutherford County Sheriff Chris Francis said it appears the majority of the property damage incidents occurred Saturday night and into Sunday, although there were some on Friday night. Eric Shelton, chief of police in Spindale, said several homes of residents and businesses were targeted with paintballs and BB guns. Scott's Takeout was among the businesses that lost the front window. Granny's Bakery also lost the front window of the store on West Main Street. The businesses had the windows boarded up on Monday. Granny's was not open on Monday, but Scott's Takeout was open for business. Among those reported damage to property in Forest City were Joseph Goodwin, Regina Doty, Jason Sprouse, Patricia Wallace, Shakita Goodlett, and Ashley Upton. Spindale's Michael Bass, Dan Twitty, Cynthia Grundall, Cheston Foster, Haywood Twitty, Isla Hutchins, John Hardy, James Rhines, Christopher Ayers, Rita Harris, Carter Williams, Scott's Takeout, Stuart Head, April Brackett, Grandy's Bakery, Samantha Leonard, and Jonathan Simmons. All those folks plus more were damaged in that spree of wild carrying on. Hopefully they'll get them all. North Carolina senators and congressmen have appealed to President Trump for federal disaster declaration for North Carolina. They sent a letter to President Trump asking that he approve Governor Roy Cooper's emergency declaration ahead of Hurricane Florence. Senators Tom Tillis and Richard Byrd led the delegation. And an emergency declaration will provide the needed assistance to the state and local communities to allow them to properly prepare for the effects of Hurricane Florence. We respectfully request you approve this declaration and enable North Carolina to prepare for the potential disaster consistent with the intended purposes of the federal emergency management agencies and the Stafford Act. So they sent that letter to Donald Trump. No word yet on whether or not that has been accepted. An emergency declaration will provide the needed assistance to the state and local communities to allow them to properly prepare for the effects of the hurricane. And they are hoping, indeed, they get some help from the federal government in helping to do that, because we're unsure exactly how much damage has taken place, but mandatory evacuation for South Carolina coast is already underway. South Carolina Governor Henry McMaster's ordered a mandatory evacuation of coastal residents as well as the closure of schools and government offices for today, September the 11th at noon, as Hurricane Florence makes its way to the Carolinas. McMaster's said we're expecting more wind than we had with Hugo and more water than we had with Matthew. This is a real hurricane we have coming, and our goal is to protect lives and property. We know that this evacuation order that I'm issuing is going to be inconvenient to some people. It's going to be inconvenient, but we do not want to risk one South Carolina life. McMaster estimated approximately 1 million people will be leaving the South Carolina coast and said mandatory medical evacuation at hospitals and nursing homes are already underway. Governor McMaster also said, people, we need to prepare. We still have time now to prepare. We urge you to do that. In a news release on South Carolina Emergency Management Division's website, people living in the northern South Carolina coast in the Horry County, Georgetown County, they've prepared exit routes for you in Charleston County, Beaufort and Jasper County, all have been prepared for exits there for you to leave. We hope indeed they will. If you have friends and neighbors that want to ride it out, encourage them not to ride it out, because this one could be one of those big ones. We don't want anybody to play daredevil and try to ride it out and get hurt from it. So if you have friends there and family, please encourage them to come on out of it for a while. 20 minutes after 8 o'clock, Sheriff Francis was on with us earlier with the reporting. We'll have that back on again in just a moment. Rutherford Regional Health System now features its walk-in services at Forest City Family Care at 212 Allendale Drive, Forest City, just behind the Tri-City Mall. Those needing walk-in care enjoy the same great services, but now at the new location. They continue to operate Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. until 8 p.m. and on Saturdays from 8 a.m. until 6 p.m. The scope of services remain unchanged for the walk-in patients. When you don't have an appointment but need to be seen quickly, we hope you'll choose the walk-in services now located at the rear entrance of Forest City Family Care.
The flu season will soon be upon us, and Smith Drugs of Forest City is ready to provide these immunizations at the drugstore at your convenience. We will bill your insurance, and one of our pharmacists can administer the vaccine to you Monday through Friday between the hours of 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. and on Saturdays by appointment only. Remember that a flu immunization is the best way to prevent getting the flu, in addition to washing hands, covering your mouth when you cough or sneeze, and staying home when you are sick. Prepare yourself and protect those around you with a flu immunization this year. Come see us at Smith Drugs of Forest City, 139 East Main Street.
Hey, listen, if you have a bunch of land covered with trees and you want to develop that land or get rid of those trees, call Bristol Industries. They'll buy all types of standing timber. Get a good price from the company that's been in this business over 30 years. They have served all of western North Carolina. And if you have acres of standing timber, call Barry Ellenberg and Jacob Schufert. You might as well get top dollar for your trees. Jacob and Barry are trained in this business. All their loggers are insured, and you'll be dealing with a reputable company. Call Bristol Industries, Bridgewater Chip Plant. Here's the phone number. Call 828-584-3335. Again, that is Bristol Industries Bridgewater Chip Plant at 828-584-3335. Here's Sheriff Chris Francis with our morning report.
Jim, the last 24 hours, the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office has responded to 153 calls to service. There have been 11 arrests processed at the county jail. Currently incarcerated, we have 210. Among those arrested, Marshall Craig Rippey, 47-year-old white male of Ellenboro, was charged with assaulting a female. We'll have to go before a district court judge for bond. Eddie Dylan Ruff, 23-year-old male of Forest City, was charged with failure to appear, received a $3,000 secure bond. Angelica Hope Peeler, 32-year-old female of Forest City, was charged with failure to appear and received a $1,500 secure bond. Jimmy Wayne Cole, a 32-year-old male from Morrisboro, was charged with failure to appear, received a $3,000 bond. Billy Mack Farrell McAlpin, 24-year-old male, looks like from Lake Lure, was charged with trespassing and resist restraint delay, received a $1,000 bond. Billy J. Wilkins, 42-year-old male of Forest City, was charged with possession of Schedule 2, received a $15,000 secure bond. Eddie Dylan Ruff, 23-year-old male of Forest City, was charged with failure to appear, received a $5,000 secure bond. Brian Keith Hicks, 23-year-old male of Ruffton, was charged with failure to appear, resist restraint delay, received a $1,500 secure bond. Ethan Mitchell King, 28-year-old male of Boston, was charged with carrying a concealed weapon and possession of a weapon of mass destruction. The deputy sheriff had located him in a license check in a stolen vehicle with the stolen guns. Ruston Police Department also charged him with the larceny of the vehicle as well as stealing of the firearms. Total, with our charges and theirs, he received a $40,000 secure bond. In the instance, we had assault on a female on Forest Ford Road in Ruston. The victim did receive minor injuries, and this is where Marshall Rippey was taken into custody. We had damaged property in larceny on Jonas Road. It looks like someone had damaged a mailbox that contained the battery for the gate that was at the entrance to the driveway, causing damage and a larceny total of $150. We had a break-in in larceny on Chili Bowl Road in Rutherford, where a .45 caliber handgun was taken. We had a break-in and entering and damaged property on Kelly Road, where someone broke in and damaged a bed that was inside the residence. We have a damaged property on Thompson Road in Rutherford. Looks like a Toyota Camry had been shot with a BB gun, very similar to what we had over the weekend in each of the city limits as well as out in the county. We had a possession of a weapon of mass destruction, carried concealed weapon on Oakland Road. And that's where Ethan King was taken into custody. Also recovery of a stolen vehicle in that case. And we had a felony larceny on Hardy Drive in Rutherford. It looks like the tenant had moved out and there was items missing when they did. Looks like a Craftsman toolbox, a Sanyo TV, a Sony TV, racing parts, and some other tools were taken in that incident. And Jim, that's what we had to report for today.
By beating the Raiders 33-13 on Monday nightcap football, the late game on the left coast. Schools and conferences monitoring Hurricane Florence's potential impact on this week's college football schedule. The Category 4 storm expected to approach the North or South Carolina coast Thursday. It's unclear whether any games will be postponed, canceled, or relocated because of the storm. ECU head football coach Scotty Montgomery talked about how they're preparing for this weekend's road game at 13th-ranked Virginia Tech.
For us, it's more about the student-athlete, how we can make sure we protect them. We've been in a situation here before, so that's something that we're monitoring.
The schedule also includes number 14 West Virginia visiting NC State. Wolfpack head coach Dave Doran isn't sure how the weather will play in.
We're expecting to play and proceeding and planning like we will until somebody says we won't. It's really the best we can do in this situation.
And 18th-ranked University of Central Florida, they're scheduled to take on the Heels in Chapel Hill. Tar Heels head coach Larry Fedora says weather? What weather?
One thing we try not to do is be worried about what the weather is when we're preparing for a game. Now, we obviously take into consideration what's going to happen, but we don't talk about it a lot as a team. We want our guys to be focused on what to do. We'll put a plan together, in case there's issues. But right now, we just want them to focus on getting better.
Clemson's also scheduled to be at home against Georgia Southern on Saturday. This is NCN Sports.
At AT&T, we believe that access to affordable home internet brings you incredible opportunities. You can enjoy the power to explore a digital world of possibilities and connect with family, friends, and the things that matter most. That's why there's access from AT&T. If a member of your household is a SNAP participant, you may qualify for home internet at a discounted rate of $10 a month. No commitment, no deposit, no installation fee. Plus, get an in-home Wi-Fi gateway at no extra cost. Call 1-855-220-5211 or visit att.com/aware to learn more.
SNAP refers to the Federal Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. Pricing excludes tax. Service will include a monthly data allowance depending on the type and speed of service you receive. If you exceed your monthly data plan allowance, you will be automatically charged $10 for each 50 gigabytes of data usage in excess of your data plan, even if less than 50 gigabytes is used. For details about data allowances, go to att.com/internet-usage. Wi-Fi enabled device required. Other restrictions apply.
Brad Keselowski outraced Denny Hamlin in the final laps to capture the delayed Brickyard 400 at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It was his second consecutive Monster Energy Cup victory heading into the playoffs. Keselowski finished just under a second ahead of Eric Jones, with Hamlin finishing third. Keegan Bradley picked up his first PGA victory in 6 years. He held off Justin Rose in a sudden death playoff in the rain-delayed and plagued BMW Championship. Bradley shot a final round 6 under 64 to finish at a 20 under in his first win since the 2002 WGC Bridgestone Invitational. The Cubs lead in the NL Central down to 1 game over Milwaukee after the Brewers beat the Cubs 3-2 at Wrigley Field. Colorado's 13-12 out of Arizona puts the Rockies a game and a half ahead of the Dodgers in the NL West, with the Diamondbacks now 3.5 behind. Josh Zach, NCN Sports.
Our skies should vary between mostly cloudy and partly sunny around the region today, with humid conditions along with some scattered showers and thunderstorms, especially in the afternoon. A couple of those with locally heavy downpours. We'll have highs around 80 to 86. Then tonight, a small chance of a shower or storm, otherwise muggy with lows in the upper 60s to low 70s. We'll have clouds and sun mixed on Wednesday, a few isolated to widely scattered thunder showers, and highs up to 82 to 88. I'm meteorologist Mike Moss in the Weather Center.
Hey, can I help you with anything?
Yeah, I'm here for the minivan sale.
Oh, that's actually just a bait and switch ad that we use to get you here to buy a more expensive vehicle.
What?
I can get you a low monthly payment with hidden fees, to exploit your ignorance. Or I could undervalue your trade-in. Let's go get that paperwork started. I've got a terrible deal for you!
Don't you wish false ads and scams were this easy to spot? Test your advertising IQ. Go to bbbadtruth.org.
What makes a great radio station? Live local programming, comprehensive news, sports, updated weather forecast, talk shows, and today's hits and yesterday's memories. Come to think of it, you're listening to it. Serving the foothills of the Carolinas. This is WCAB Rutherfordton.
100.9 FM, 590 AM, and thank you so very much for your response back to us. We'd love to hear that you're listening to 100.9 FM, calling and letting us know who you are, how far away you're driving, and picking the signal up. We appreciate that. And we're getting a really good positive response back also about the music that we've switched to, oldies, classic oldies from the 50s, 60s, 70s. And we appreciate that. So we have had a few disgruntled, unhappy folks because we don't do the country anymore, but we thought it was time for a change. And we hope you'll adjust if you remember those days. So we hope you will adapt to that and find out it's good kind of music you sort of leave on in your office, in your workplace, in your home, in your bedroom, and walk down memory lane with us on 100.9 FM and 590 AM. Well, today is National Make Your Bed Day. Did you make your bed, Todd, before you left this morning? Did you? All right. Todd's ahead of the game. He made his bed this morning. September the 11th is National Make Your Bed Day. According to experts, observing the day may also have its health benefits. Research done by the National Sleep Foundation reports making your bed can help improve your sleep by reducing the amount of tossing, turning, and restlessness. So, somebody said one time, why do you make your bed in the morning? You have to unmake it at night, so why not just leave it unmade? Well, that's the story right there. According to National Make Your Bed Day, folks. So if you haven't yet made your bed, rush it back home right quick and make your bed. It'll help you sleep. It'll help you sleep. I don't know who comes up with all these things. Do you? I don't know, but it is interesting. Well, let's see. U.S. News says President Trump is engaged in Harvey response. Plans to visit flooded Texas on Tuesday. Also, how you can help flood victims. That's the headline of the breaking news. In the first natural disaster of his presidency, Trump seems to be very committed to staying on top of the situation in East Texas as the outgoing Harvey continued to dump devastating rains on the already flooded areas. Even U.S. News reported President Donald Trump appears to be handling the federal response to Hurricane Harvey actively and aggressively so far. The president has been tweeting about the monstrous storm and praising rescue efforts on the ground in the Lone Star State, according to Yahoo News. Of course, there's another one coming up now from the coast onto the Carolinas coast that he'll be looking at as well. U.S. News noted that Trump appears to understand how much is riding on his performance. He is doing his best to reassure the country that he is an effective, hands-on leader able to handle this crisis. That he is trying to avoid any problem that G.W. Bush faced during the Hurricane Katrina, which led to extensive criticism for a weak government response. And you have to take into consideration how much of that was critical because of who he was. U.S. News report today, Trump is portraying himself as concerned, engaged, and insisting on fast action to deal with Hurricane Harvey. Well, had not had a response back from the U.S. News and World Report about his handling of Florence, but I'm sure that is also underway. Well, Saturday, September the 15th, which is coming up this week, in downtown Forest City, town of Forest City celebrates the World Equestrian Games with free concerts. From 7 until 9 o'clock, you're welcome to come downtown, and Diamond River Band from Asheville will be performing. Diamond River Band is a young, versatile hip party band spanning the decades with special emphasis on country, classic rock, and current hits. And then on Thursday, September the 20th, we welcome local favorite Old 74 Jazz Band playing from 7 until 9. Old 74 Jazz is an 18-member big band that performs a variety of jazz, funk, and rock charts from all decades. Well, I've heard that group, and they are fantastic. Both concerts will be held in the grassy area across from Family Video there on Main Street, Forest City. Bring a blanket or lawn chair and join us as we celebrate the World Equestrian Games, courtesy of Forest City, town of Forest City. That is coming up. First one is this Saturday, and then on Thursday the 20th. You probably have been following this. Some of you could care less probably, but in Sunday's game, NFL anthem protest, 10 players from 6 teams protested on week 1. Only 10 players out of all the other players. And those 10 players got all the publicity. And all the other folks who recognize the importance of our flag that stood and saluted the flag were not mentioned. 10 National Football League players from 6 teams protested in one way or another during the playing of the national anthem in the first week of NFL regular season games. While ESPN reports that only 2 players knelt during the anthem, 3 others raised a fist in protest, 1 sat on the bench, and 4 more boycotted the anthem by hiding out in their stadium's tunnels as it played. Philadelphia Eagles defensive end Michael Bennett sat on the bench while the national anthem was being played during the playing of the anthem prior to Thursday night's NFL season opener against the Atlanta Falcons. Miami Dolphin receiver Kenny Stills and receiver Albert Wilson knelt during the anthem, and Robert Quinn raised his fist in protest. San Francisco 49ers, one person, receiver Marquise Goodwin, raised a fist during the anthem. Los Angeles Chargers, one guy, tackle Russell Okung, raised a fist in protest. Denver Broncos, there were 2, receiver Demarius Thomas and linebacker Brandon Marshall boycotted the anthem by going into the stadium's tunnel during the national anthem. Seattle Seahawks, 2 of them, lineman Dwayne Brown and lineman Quentin Jefferson, boycotted the anthem. returning to the field after it finished playing. Well, that's their right to do that, but we certainly shouldn't raise them up on a pedestal as the people to admire and appreciate. They have the right to disassociate themselves with our national anthem if they want to, but we certainly don't need to place our emphasis and our praise and glory on those folks who ball up their fist and wave their fist at our flag, or hide from it, go in the tunnel, and not stand at attention like so many others of us have done. ESPN has announced it will not even broadcast the national anthem this year for any of its Monday night football games, including the matchup between the New York Jets and Detroit Lions. ESPN is not even going to broadcast the national anthem. So what do you think about that now? As my brother-in-law would say, what do you think about that now? So that's the only 10 players, it looks like, from 6 teams protested week 1. We'll see what happens next week. I'm glad none of the Carolina Panthers are on that list. We'll see how many of them. I don't understand why folks like Nike wants to make a hero out of Kaepernick because he chose not to salute a flag and make a hero out of it, and he's wears socks. It says in calling cops pigs. And that's his feeling toward our cops and our police officers around the country that put their lives on the line for us every day and night. And he wears socks. It says cops are pigs. And Nike wants to make him a hero and give him a bundle of money for wearing them and saying that's the best shoe and act it out and go for it. I don't understand that philosophy. I just don't understand how a business, unless they've got a bunch of young guys running the marketing department that think that's the best thing in the world. But I don't understand that. Well, he can protest all he wants to protest, but when you start calling cops pigs and calling them names, then that becomes a little more personal. They're talking about our buddies. They're talking about our guys. They're talking about all the folks who wear the blue. Guys and gals that put their life on the line to protect you and me. They'd put their life on the line to protect Kaepernick if he needed to. And he's calling them pigs, yet he gets praise and glory, honor, prestige, and held up in esteem because of he made a step forward and he's standing. Come on, folks. Let's honor these folks that step up to the plate and do something good. Give them an honor. Give them a Nike contract. The warped mind of this generation of whiners, it befuddles me. And I'm sure the folks who made that decision in corporate Nike are young whiners. They can't be smart business folks. And their stocks have gone plummeting. They tell me, according to what I read, their stocks have gone down. But here's one college that I really admire and appreciate. College of the Ozarks. On Wednesday, the College of the Ozarks discarded all Nike equipment and uniforms. It was disposing of all Nike athletic uniforms and equipment. This decision came after Nike released its Just Do It slogan, its 30th anniversary ad campaign. The campaign features free agent NFL quarterback Colin Kaepernick, who is known for starting the NFL kneeling demonstration during the national anthem, as I was talking about a moment ago. Their slogan, Just Do It, could it not have been Just Do It for someone who chose to accomplish a major feat in their life? Just Do It, someone who was told they would never walk again, but yet they proved the doctors to be wrong and they got up and walked again? Could it not been somebody who just did it because they did something to help somebody else out, rather than just do it because you despise Donald Trump or you despise our American flag or you despise our country? Why do we recognize that? Why not give it to somebody, Just Do It, who has done something realistic, who has done something that is important for the own growth of our country? Why not give it to somebody like that who was told, I just don't believe I can make it. But all of a sudden, Just Do It comes to mind, and I step forward and I make it happen anyway. And lives are blessed throughout the country. Lives are improved throughout the country because I just did it. Those are the people that need to be recognized and honored. Give them a contract for Nike or Adidas or whoever. But this College of the Ozarks considers patriotism and American pride important parts of the institution's identity and education. And that's been a part of their curriculum and part of their history. So according to the institution's website, in 2017, the college updated its sports competition contracts, adding that all players and coaches participating in competition demonstrate respect for the American flag and the national anthem. The college also filed a request to have the NAIA move the 2018 Men's Division II basketball tournament from the College of the Ozarks to another venue. This request was granted. The college's president, who is Jerry Davis, he made a statement Wednesday saying in their new ad campaign, "We believe Nike executives are promoting an attitude of division and disrespect toward America." Davis continues, "If Nike is ashamed of America, we are ashamed of them. We also believe that those who know what sacrifice is all about are more likely to be wearing a military uniform than an athletic uniform." The Vice President for Patriotic Activities and Dean of Admissions at College of Ozarks, Dr. Marcy Lenson, said in the press release published on the school's website, said, quote, "Nike is free to campaign as it sees fit, as the college is free and honor-bound by its mission goals to ensure that it respects our country and those who truly served and sacrificed," end quote. Marcy's job is to oversee patriotic activities at the college and protect institution's patriotic goal. I like that school. Don't know exactly where they are. Let me see. It doesn't say where they are necessarily, but I like that school. They believe in promoting civility in America, patriotism in America. What's happened to our leaders? What's happened to our networks? The ESPN won't even show the national anthem at the beginning of a ball game. That's always a big part of a game. Go to a high school football game or to a baseball game or a basketball game, and somebody sings a national anthem, and sometimes they do it with respect. Sometimes they don't, but when they do, it's really a warming pride of America kind of moment. But yet, Kaepernick started something and raises his flag and raising his fist to the flag, or kneels and doesn't stand attention. I don't understand that. I really do not understand that, how we can honor somebody like that. Certainly I honor his right to do it. Many of our military folks died to give him that right in America. Some countries, if he did something like that, he'd be killed because he didn't recognize their leader, the national flag. But in America, you have the right to do whatever you want to do it. But don't force it on us. Don't tell us that we shouldn't do it. And don't give them a national contract and wearing Nike shoes, and inside those shoes are feet, and on those feet are socks that say cops are pigs. Well, that's what I'm thinking anyway. 8:46 on this terrific Tuesday morning. I'll be right back. Come on over and experience the authentic family-owned Mi Pueblito. Delicious hot meals and daily specials served fresh every day. Mi Pueblito is one of Rutherford County's favorite places to dine. They have been voted #1 best Mexican restaurant in Rutherford County. Enjoy taco salads, burritos, quesadillas, enchiladas. Many popular lunch specials are the all-time favorite, fajitas. They have something for everyone, even the hard-to-please amigo. Great service, warm atmosphere, full-service bar, and a large party room available. 2 locations to serve you: South Washington Street in Rutherfordton and Oak Street Extension in Forest City. Or visit them anytime at meatpubs.com. That's meatpubs.com. Visit Mi Pueblito, Mexican cuisine at its finest. I'm a big fan.
There are plenty of drugstores in our area, but not all of them show the personal service that is offered at the Medicine Box of Rutherfordton. Laura Hodge and her team understand your need for prompt and accurate service with minimal wait times. The Medicine Box offers synchronization. This allows you to get all your meds filled at the same time, avoiding extra trips to the drugstore. And ask Laura about dose packaging, a free service offered by the Medicine Box. This ensures you take the right meds, the right dose, at the right time each day. That's the Medicine Box of Rutherfordton on Charlotte Road in the Napa Building. And check out their website at medicинeboxrutherfordton.com.
Excuse me, Lou. Didn't mean to step on you there. Congratulations to Chandler Burnett of Polk County. Chandler won the Daylight Donuts this morning from random drawing. And we're being kind to Joyce Ward of Rutherfordton, who is retired and celebrating a birthday today. Well, there's a campaign on the way called Walk Away. Potomac Tea Party's Walk Away project is working, apparently. Jeff Wallace is a contributor to Potomac Tea Party's Walk Away project. He says 2,000 years ago, St. Paul found himself blinded by a bright light on the road to Damascus. The dramatic experience led him to stop persecuting his opponents and to take up new beliefs. Today, many former leftists are taking their first steps on their own road to Damascus, and the right is not doing nearly enough to capitalize on this mass exit from the left. It all began just a few short weeks ago when gay New York hairdresser Brendan Stryker posted a hard-hitting piece explaining why he is no longer a Democrat or a liberal. Since then, his Walk Away campaign has attracted more than 172 members. A multitude of videos from other walkaways have been online under Walk Away. Make no mistake, the left has been greatly rattled by all of this. The left's treatment of the Walk Away campaign mirrors the way it reacted to the Tea Party movement. First, it ignored it, hoping it would go away. Then it moved on to minimize and attempted ridicule, which it has done with Walk Away. Stephen Colbert and others scorn that the Walk Away campaign is just run by Russian bots. Well, having seen that fail, the next step was to try to co-opt it with its own movement. Bill Scheer wrote an article in Politico inviting Republicans to become Democrats. The suggestion is that never-Trumpers should walk away from the GOP, get themselves elected as delegates to the 2020 Democratic National Convention, and thereby prevent the Democratic Party from going full-blown socialist. Nearly every walkaway has unique reason for leaving the Democratic Party. Some of the most common reasons being encountered is why the Democrats are leaving the party because the Democrat Party rejects Christian values. Liberal rhetoric on helping the poor does not match up with reality. For instance, the Democrat-run Los Angeles now has thousands living on the streets. The left frequently denounces the armed services, law enforcement, and the American flag. Many military veterans are outraged by this. There are countless other reasons why folks are leaving the Democrat Party in droves. It's happening all over the country. It's happening right here in Rutherford County. They're leaving in droves because they don't like the stand that the party has made, the turn they made to the left, and more going more and more socialist. So they're leaving it. The numbers are there. You can check it yourself why the numbers in the unaffiliated and the Republican Party are growing by leaps and bounds. The Democrat Party is shrinking fastly. But the wellspring of the walkaway movement has less to do with policy than with the realization that Democrats and the left invariably use despicable methods to achieve their goal, and without remorse. To the left, winning is all that matters. So if folks are beginning to see such as the activity of the Senate hearing on the confirmation of the new judge up there, it was absolutely asinine what they were doing. Many walk away from cities. It's easier to come out as gay than to come out as a conservative libertarian. Many have even lost friends and been ostracized by family members because they decided to leave the Democrat Party. One man, Vlad, who grew up in communist Poland, posted an article in which he compared the methods of today's American left to the old guard in his home country. They run you down if you're not careful. This is an extraordinary opportunity for conservatives, and it's not likely to come our way again in our lifetime. But many of these walkaways come from surprising demographics: gay people, ethnic minorities, and others. The left worked these communities hard in amassing its power, and it's incumbent on the right to reach out to these same individuals. A bright light has shone. The walkaways are on the move. Those of us in the conservative movement welcome those folks who are willing to make that transition and that change, but don't come expecting the conservatives to change and become liberal. If you don't like what the liberals are doing, change your party and join in with the new and exciting way. Well, NBC Sports will be presenting nearly 65 hours of the World Equestrian Games beginning tomorrow. They'll be over there recording all of that. You can pick some of that up. A lot of it will be on a delayed basis and not much of it done live, but NBCSports.com and the NBC Sports app, NBC Sports Group's live stream products for mobile devices. So they got the contract for those major games, and so they are here as well. And they have occupied a lot of our motels and hotel bills as well. So they're here, folks, so let's make them welcome. Meantime, have a wonderful, terrific Tuesday morning. I'll be back to see you bright and early tomorrow morning with coffee in hand. So long.
I wonder who wrote the book of love? Tell me, who wrote the book of love? I've got to know the answer. Was it someone from above? I wonder who wrote the book of love? I love you, darling, baby, you know I do. But I've got to see this book of love, find out why it's true. I wonder who wrote the book of love? Chapter 1 says the lover, you love her with all your heart. Chapter 2, you tell her, you never ever gonna part. In chapter 3, remember the meaning of romance. In chapter 4, you break up, but you give her just one more chance. Oh, I wonder who wrote the book of love? Baby, I love you, yes I do. Well, it says so in this book of love, ours is the one that's true. I wonder who wrote the book of love? Chapter 1 says the lover, you love her with all your heart.
MCN News. I'm Mike Rayleigh. Hurricane Florence is heading towards the East Coast and is expected to be at a Category 5 status by